An UMNO leader has told the government to not trivialize public sentiments on the new cabinet lineup and address it wisely. Meanwhile, Puad has reminded Adam of his previous pledge on the PTPTN. Stay tuned for this and more on Kinitv News. UMNO Secretary General Asyraf Dusuki has told the government not to take public sentiment on the recent cabinet reshuffle lightly. In a post on Facebook today, he highlighted several questions that had been brought up over the new cabinet lineup. According to him, one of the key issues raised is concerns on the appointment of Hena Yo, a Chinese DAP leader, as Minister of the Federal Territories, alongside Lo Su Fui, a Chinese representative from GRS, as the Deputy Minister. He claimed netizens have questioned the implications of these appointments for the urban Bumiputra community, with some asking whether this signals a shift in policy direction or the possible introduction of local government elections. Asyraf added that there were also questions over the appointment of Marhama Rosli as Deputy Minister for Religious Affairs, with critics highlighting past controversies linked to her. Apart from these, he also highlighted questions on Adam appointment as Deputy Higher Education Minister. He said there were questions on whether the appointment of the activist, who had previously been vocal in calling for the abolition of PTPTN loans during the BN administration, can actually realize that agenda. He stressed that there are just some of the strong sentiments circulating on social media since yesterday's announcement. He added that such sentiments should not be taken lightly and must be addressed with wisdom. Meanwhile, UMNO Supreme Council member Puad has taken a swipe at newly appointed Deputy Higher Education Minister Adam Abdul Halim. In a post on Facebook, he said Adam can now push for the abolition of the National Higher Education Fund Corporation, or PTPTN debts. Puad urged Adam to speak up loudly during post-cabinet meetings at the Higher Education Ministry to demand its abolition, adding that only then would his past activism appear worthwhile. Puad also invoked former Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli's slogan while suggesting that reformist ideas are easier to uphold while in opposition rather than in power. He added that being in opposition is indeed easy, but once you're in power, only then do you understand how high or low the sky really is. During his student activism days in the 2010s, Adam emerged as a prominent advocate for free education in Malaysia, campaigning vigorously for the abolition of PTPTN loans. Through his involvement in large-scale protests, he consistently highlighted how students were saddled with excessive debt from an early age. He had also previously criticized the government's proposal to reimpose a travel ban on its loan defaulters. Adam was appointed Deputy Higher Education Minister in a cabinet reshuffle announced by Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim yesterday. From now on, you can also listen to Kinitv News on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. A PKR Assembly person has praised Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim for appointing R. Ramanan as Minister of Human Resources and R. Yuvaneswaran as Deputy Minister of National Unity. Sentosa Assembly person Dr. Gunaraj George said the appointments marked an important recognition of the voice, aspirations, and contributions of the Indian community in Malaysia. In a statement, he expressed his gratitude to Anwar for heeding the concerns and appeals of the Indian community, particularly the call for a full Minister of Indian descent who is able to speak Tamil within the cabinet level. Gunaraj said that it is now time for the Indian communities to support the existing leadership and to convey the community's demands and needs in a prudent, united, and constructive manner for a better future. He added that the appointments of Ramanan and Yuvaneswaran reflected the national leadership's confidence in their capabilities, integrity, and commitment to advancing the reform agenda, inclusive development, and the well-being of the people. According to Gunaraj, the trust placed in both leaders will be carried out with full dedication and determination, particularly in efforts to empower workers' welfare, strengthen harmony within Malaysia's multi-ethnic society, and build a more just, progressive, and united nation. Ramanan is a PKR Vice President, while Yuvaneswaran is also a PKR federal lawmaker. Yesterday, Ramanan pledged to serve with full dedication and commitment to fulfill the aspirations of Malaysians, including the Indian community, in line with the Madani Malaysia vision. The Attorney General's Chambers has ordered for the investigation into the case of 3 men shot dead in Malacca by police to be reclassified as murder. In a statement, it said the AGC has been referred to a report on the case involving 3 men who were shot dead by the police in Malacca. It added that based on the briefing and recommendations submitted, the AGC agrees and has directed that the investigation be reclassified under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. It said that the Chamber's preliminary review found that several further actions still need to be taken by the police to complete the investigation before any final decision can be made. On November 24th, the police shot and killed the men aged between 24 and 29 after one of them allegedly used a machete to attack a police officer in an oil palm plantation in Durian Tunggal. Malacca Police Chief Zulkar Mukhtar defended his team's actions, alleging that the incident caused a corporal in his early 30s to suffer severe injuries to his left arm. However, lawyers representing the men's families rejected the police's version of events. Following this, Bukidnon Criminal Investigation Department Director M. Kumar said his department had established a team to investigate the case. He said the team would take over the investigation, including the police reports lodged by the victims' family members. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Albert Tay's lawyer has renewed calls for authorities to release video recordings of a raid carried out at his client's home in Puchong, Selangor last month. Lawyer Mahjot Singh said allegations that police have yet to find evidence of MACC officers pointing firearms at Tay and his wife, Lee Pei Ri, during the raid could be swiftly addressed by making the footage public. He said the issue could be resolved conclusively by releasing the recordings to the Malaysian public, who have a right to know what transpired during the operation. Mahjot added that there was no legitimate justification for withholding the footage while issuing public statements that cast doubt on the complaint. He also criticized remarks made by Selangor Police Chief Shazali Kaha on December 15th, describing them as premature and unjustified. Mahjot noted that key witnesses to the raid, including Lee, her mother, and a domestic helper, only had their statements recorded yesterday. He said that during the questioning session, police officers showed still images extracted from body-worn camera footage used by MACC officers during the raid. According to Mahjot, this confirmed that body-worn camera recordings of the raid do exist. He stressed that the continued refusal to disclose footage that has now been confirmed to exist serves no legitimate investigative purpose and undermines claims of transparency. Sabah Chief Minister Haji Noor has indicated that his Gabungan Rakyat Sabah coalition is unlikely to field a candidate in the twin by-election for Kinabatangan Parliament and Lamak State seat next month. Speaking to reporters after a Sabah State Assembly sitting in Kota Kinabalu yesterday, the GRS chairperson also hinted at possible support for a candidate to be fielded by UMNO. Hajiji said he would discuss it within GRS but stated that the party will most likely not contest. He also said that they will give due respect to the party that won and by chance they are now in the state government. When quizzed further, Hajiji said that they will give way to UMNO and will assist them to win. He added that he will be meeting with UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi to discuss the nature of the two coalitions' cooperation. The Election Commission has set January 10 for nominations and January 24 for polling in the twin by-elections triggered by the death of its incumbent, former Sabah UMNO Chief Bung Mokhtar Radin. The veteran politician passed away at Gleneagles Hospital in Kota Kinabalu at the age of 66. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to Kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.